welcome back. So, from my last video, I was saying how I drew an Animal Crossing speed paint, and I forgot what story I was going to tell with the speed paint. Well, Setsu left a comment saying it was probably supposed to be about my hunt for Marshall. I was like, oh, that probably was it, honestly. So I was scrolling through my Switch to try to bring up some photos and gameplay and stuff of, my hunt. Until I realized I take a lot of photos and videos. So, that's probably going to be its own video. But for this one, I'll still, at least talk about my adventures with New Horizons. So, as I said in my last video, I was trying to hunt for Walker, mainly. Or, Punchy, or, Marshall. Now, as I got started, of course, the first few weren't anyone I wanted or cared about. And then the fourth island I happened to come across had Raymond. So I was like, ooh, okay, yes, I'll take him in. So I got the cat. He's been on my island since. I love him to bits. He's one of those animals where when you leave, he waves with both hands, and it's so cute. So, again, on my hunt. Now, some of them I had to use amiibo cards to get in because Setsu had her own set of cards. She had Octavian and Marina and Zucker and, a few others. So I was in between waiting for people to leave so that I can go hunting while at the same time trying to get some of the villagers in through the amiibo cards. So I got Octavian and Marina in through the cards. But beforehand, I actually ran into both of them while hunting on the islands. And I was just like, ooh, I would, but we have your card. I could just get you in anyways, so I gotta say no and continue going. And it'll either go to, I give up, I'm just gonna not waste any more time getting tickets to go to islands. Or I'll just waste hours doing so until I get somebody I'm okay with. What's funny is when villagers move out, you have a chance to get villagers from your friends' islands. And the very first villager I got in that came from my friend's island came from my friend Kelsey's island. And it was Deirdre, I believe. I was so confused because she was like, hi, I come from this place. I was like, oh, I've never spoken to you there, but hello, welcome to Egg. And then I just kept getting them from Setsu's island, which just proves I've been to Setsu's island more than anybody else's. But I just kept getting hers and hers and hers. I'm just like, okay. But it's been an equal exchange because she's been getting mine as well. Now, it got to a point, finally, I found Marshall. And you gotta believe the relief. Because I lost count. I was gonna keep count of how many islands it took until I got there. It took so many that I just gave up counting. And I finally saw him on that little spiral island. And all you hear as I'm running around the spiral is, ah, 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 running up to him. So I could speak to him. And then it's like 2 days later, he's like, hey, I'm thinking about moving. I'm just like, no, you aren't, you son of a bee. You are staying here. It took me so long to find you. You are not leaving. But Him and Raymond seem to get along fine. Because I know they're both snooty types, and they seem to get along fine. Though, it is funny listening to some of Raymond's conversations with Marina. Because it's like, she is not putting up with him. She is just so, no, I don't want anything to do with you. But yet, they're the ones who talk the most. Like, I have so many conversations saved of the two of them. And Marina just basically be like, okay. The picture I am drawing that you see in the speed paint is of Marina. There was a shot of her sleeping in the rain under a tree. I thought it was so cute, so I had to do it. Yeah, I know the story about Marshall wasn't that long, because I honestly forgot about most of it, but yeah. I'm still waiting to get Walker, like I said in my last video. I don't know where his card went, and I really don't feel like going villager hunting. So we'll see if I can ever get my little pupper in. But right now I have, I think, like 3 villagers that came from Setsu's island. And no, that's it. Just the 3 that came from Setsu's island. Because the one that came from Kelsey's island finally moved. But I mean, I've had fun with New Horizons. I haven't been on it in a while. I got them for the Halloween update and played during the Halloween time, but I hadn't been on it since, honestly. Should really hop back on. My little sister is now getting addicted to it, so she's been playing it a lot more. Yeah, I'm still terraforming and all that too, which is hooray. Fun. I mean, I'm almost done with my island. It's looking somewhat pretty. I go to Setsu's island a lot because she usually has stuff for me and I usually pick it up from her. And there are occasions I have stuff for her, like she wanted one of the fake statues because it like floats up and glows or something. So we go to each other's islands a lot. She shows me around the maze that is her island. Like she puts so much time and effort into her island. It looks really cool. But it is basically a maze trying to get around everything. She has this section that's like free stuff. So it's like for her friends to go in and take some free items, which is cool. I play very off and on. Like, when New Horizons first came out, I think I played for like 2 months straight. And then I put it down and didn't pick it up for about a few months and then picked it back up. Like, I try to hop on occasion so I don't lose any of the villagers that I'm hoping to keep. But there still has been a lot of the time that I'm just like, I don't feel like playing. I'm not gonna play. Bye. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah. Take care of yourselves. The Halloween update I really liked. I liked collecting the candies and stuff. Though the thing I found weird is I didn't collect a candy every day. I tried, but there were days I just didn't feel like hopping on any game. Or I was too stuck on Among Us. And I'd go in, grab a piece of candy, and I decided I was going to time skip a few days just because the Splatfest was on Halloween. I was planning on doing something with my family on Halloween, and then the Animal Crossing was on Halloween. So I was going to time skip just a few days ahead just so I can get to play the Halloween event. Well, I didn't play for about a week while coming back here. So when I finally was going to get on was on Halloween, funny enough. And I had to time jump, like go back in time, back to Halloween. Because I didn't get to play it when I meant to play it. And I meant to hop on the Splatoon Splatfest, but my Switch wasn't connected to the Wi-Fi, so I was like, I'll play Animal Crossing then. So I hopped on to the Animal Crossing, and I didn't have any of my pieces of candy. Like, I collected it throughout the month, like, as much as I could. I know I had at least 16 pieces. For fact, I had, like, 16 pieces of candy. And the day of, I only had 3 in my inventory. Like, on me, I only had 3. And that was it. That's all I had. And I was just like, this isn't right. I had more. So I ran around my entire island thinking maybe I put it down somewhere. Checked all of my storage in my house. I could not find them. So I just have missing candy, which just blows my mind. And where the hecky that went. But it was still fun. I had to look up to see if I could get candy the day of. So I ended up, getting the one from the shop. Sky gave me a few pieces because she's like, oh, you're out? Well, here, have some candy, but next time I won't be as nice. And then there was, you can technically go trick-or-treating at your villagers' houses. The ones who are home will give you pieces of candy, but it's like one every so many minutes. Like, you can't just keep going to their house. It's every so often they'll give you a piece. And it sucks because you barely walk by a villager and they're like, hey, trick or treat. I'm just like, I don't have any candy. I'm sorry. Like, it was fun besides that, though. It was fun. I love seeing their cute little outfits they were wearing. I love, actually running around. I actually had a costume because Punchy gave me a costume earlier the month. And it was like a little bone costume, so I was running around wearing that. And then I honestly didn't know what the lollipops were for. And of course, Punchy's the one handing out the lollipops if I give him a piece of candy. So I go up to Jack with the lollipop. He's like, here, have a thing. I'm like, so basically keep running in front of Punchy so that he can keep giving me lollipops. So I can keep getting things from Jack. When I was collecting the amiibo cards, because every time I saw amiibo cards, I always picked them up, which is funny because my collection isn't even finished. But I would always pick up amiibo cards when I could. And it was always Series 3, I believe, and I always ended up with a Jack. I had so many Jack cards, it was ridiculous. But my collection isn't even complete yet, and I think I've spent over $500 on cards. I have so many dupes, and that's why I was a little upset that all my cards were in Tucson while I was in Virginia during New Horizons, because those cards were getting a little pricey on eBay. I could have sold some of my dupes, you know, make it good. No, kidding. But, nah, I'm excited for the Christmas event, too, and whatever they do for Thanksgiving. When I first got New Horizons, because Setsu had hers pre-ordered through GameStop, I think, so she was supposed to get a poster with hers, but she never got her poster, which I told her to try to go get, but it's not a big deal. And it's like the next day, my dad happened to be coming to visit me, and he ended up buying me, him, and his girlfriend all Animal Crossing games. So that night, we were all playing Animal Crossing, and I had already played a few hours in, because, you know, it's the Switch that holds the memory, not the game itself. So I asked Setsu if I could play her game a bit, you know, on my Switch, which would make, you know, my own account. And she's like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I at least was able to play a few hours. So technically I was already a day in the game. So when my dad got me a copy of it, I had already been in for about a day. So I was already a day ahead of them. And I was, you know, telling them what I did and stuff and things of that nature. So I technically have been playing it since it came out, but I'm also one of those who isn't very dedicated to the game. Like, I know some people beating it, like, or quote-unquote beating it. You really can't beat Animal Crossing, but you can collect all the stuff in Animal Crossing. Like, the first few weeks in, it's just like, oh, okay, calm down. But I still don't have a lot of stuff. I hate fishing, so I have not done any of the fishing stuff. I've done some, but I hate fishing. I have such terrible trigger fingers that, yeah, it doesn't work for me. And then my dad actually gave his copy of Animal Crossing to Summer when she got her Switch so that she could play. Because he doesn't play as often either. Like, he plays less than I do. That says something. But yeah, this was just supposed to be, I guess, a bunch of random Animal Crossing stories since I had another Animal Crossing speed paint. I hope y'all liked the video. If you do, you know, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you don't, well, there's a dislike button for a reason. If you like the piece I drew and want your own, my commissions are open in the links below, and I will catch you all next time. Bye-bye.